Greetings and welcome to Causeless Joy Tarot. Today we are looking at the sign of Pisces for the month of November 2017. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I am using two decks this month. This is the Gilded Tarot deck by Cyril Marchetti, as well as the Archangel deck by Doreen Virtue. So I am doing a 7-card spread for the month of November. So let's go ahead and get started, Pisces. Calling on my angels, guides, teachers, helpers, all that loves and surrounds me and the sign of Pisces, asking for perfect vision, perfect wisdom, and perfect clarity as we look at the energies coming into the month of November 2017, giving thanks to all that is in advance for the perfection that is this life. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Giving thanks to all that is as we look at the energy coming into the month of November 2017 for the sign of Pisces. Again, looking at the sign of Pisces for the month of November 2017. Thank you in advance for perfect clarity, perfect wisdom, and perfect vision. All right, Pisces, that feels good. So let's take a look at the cards. I am doing a 7-card spread that I'm calling the World View spread. So let's see what we have in store for Pisces. Right. And at the bottom of the deck, Pisces, we have the Star. Woohoo! All right, Pisces, coming in looking good for the month of November with the Star as your overriding energy. Now, the Star is a very expressive energy, is what I want to say right up front. The Star is just what it says. It lights up the place. It reminds me of the sun, but not as powerful and big as what you see the sun. Just like a star in the sky is not as powerful. So again, this is a wonderful way to start out the month of November, or whatever time you're catching this video, whether you're at the beginning of the month or the middle or the end. It is a wonderful way for you to be showing up in the month of November. So let's go ahead now, Pisces, and take a look at the rest of your cards here for November 2017. You're off to a great start. All right, so in your past position, Pisces, we have the Queen of Wands coming in as in the reverse as your past energy. So this fiery queen is always looking to take some sort of action. She's action oriented. She's compassionate. She's always again looking for that next big thing. All right, she's coming up in the reverse in your past energy. So what that says to me right up front, Pisces, is that either you've been affiliated perhaps with a fire energy sign, perhaps Leo or an Aries sign, or this could be your energy as well, showing that perhaps in the past, in the recent past, actually, there may have been some sort of perhaps things weren't going as awesomely is what you'd hope they'd go for you. And this is surrounding, like I said, a very passionate project that you're working on, something that you're very passionate about. So again, when I see the Queen coming in the reverse, it speaks to being stunted in some way, being paused, or perhaps delayed in some way on this passionate project that you're working on. So let's take a look at your current energy here. Currently, we have the Seven of Cups coming up in the reverse. So in your present energy, the Seven of Cups upright really speaks to having all of these choices that you can choose from. We have the fire in the cup, you have the bird in the cup, you have the rainbow in the cup, and all the other things in the cup that you could possibly make a choice from. And when I see it upright, it just means that that choice isn't quite clear to you yet. You're still muddling over what you need to do. In the reverse, however, this means clarity. This means that you've come to a place where you're ready to actually move forward with whatever may have been stunted in the past, whatever may have been delayed, or perhaps this clarity is what you were in need of in order to turn that around for you in the past. So it's great to see this coming in as your present energy. So coming through very clear, very focused perhaps on that passionate project, but you do have the clarity right now to do what it is you're looking to do. Okay, so in your future position, we have the Emperor coming in the reverse. So the Emperor is in control. This is a major arcana, and whenever I see the Emperor, the first thing that comes in for me is the word control. He has a great deal of power. As you can see, he's holding that what do you call it? The specter, or some sort of wand there with some sort of celestial item at the top. He also is, I'm always reminded of the flag, the American flag, whenever I see this particular emperor, because the way he's dressed, he's appears to be clothed in the American flag a little bit. So seeing the Emperor in the reverse in your future position is saying to me that there may be times where you don't feel like you're able to control things, to get them to do what you feel is best, right? So you're not able to change people or situations, even though you may be able to see what's in that person's or that situation's best interest. Now, what the universe would like you to know right now about this future card is that we're not really in a position to control anything, right? The only thing that we can control is the way that we respond to what's happening to us in our everyday life. So the call there is to let go of the need to either loosen the expectations or the attachments or the need to control what's happening around you. It will be very beneficial for you to do so. Okay, so next up we have your current outlook. This is how you're looking out at the world, what you're seeing when you look out at the world. So you do have the Four of Wands coming up in the reverse. Now, this card, stalemate is the word, is the trigger word that's coming in for this Four of Wands. All right, so seeing it in the reverse here, upright, what it signifies is a foundation, a very solid, a very firm foundation. And when I see it in the reverse and I see it coming in, is how you're looking at the world. Perhaps there's this notion that you have right now, that things aren't as firm as your foundation around you, your environment. Things are not as solid as you'd like them to be. Perhaps there's some unknowns in your environment, which an unknown really could be in, it's probably in everybody's environment, to be honest with you. Right? So there's not much that we, can know in advance, right? So this Four of Wands, again, is signifying that you're perceiving your external environment as not having a solid foundation, the type of foundation that you would like to see happening there. Okay, so your next card that we have is external influences. This is things that are influencing you, or how the world is actually affecting you. So we have this Knight of Cups coming in here. Now, Knights usually represent messages, and Cups are about emotions. So perhaps there's been an emotional change, a message perhaps. This Knight also represents strength. That's one word that's coming to me to also include with this particular card. So as an external influence, again, it's how things in the world are affecting you. So here you can see this guy is on his horse. He has his cup raised high, which to me is a really strong sign of victory as well. So perhaps the impact that the world is having on you right now can be seen or known through these messages. And also pay attention to how you're feeling, right? Paying attention to the impact or the effect that what's happening in the world, how that's impacting you emotionally, is going to be a key factor for Pisces in the month of November, is what I'm picking up here with this Knight of Cups. And right next to the external influence, we have your internal influence. So here we have this is your driving force. This Page of Swords is pretty much like what you can offer out to the world. So this page is also messages as well as thoughts. So these two cards here, we have the internal and the external. This being the external, this Knight of Cups, and this being the internal, the Page of Swords. So the influence, what's influencing Pisces in the month of November, internally, you have this sense of, this very youthful sense of your thoughts, things that you're thinking. So, and that could be borderline immaturity there, is what I'm picking up perhaps for some Pisces. So again, or either your thinking has not grown, right? You're holding a position, a previously determined position about a current situation. That's really what I'm picking up here with this Page of Swords for Pisces. So to say that in another way that is probably a little less confusing there, is that I'll give you an example of what I mean. So let's just use a loan application as an example. If I've been denied in the past for a loan, and find myself needing to perhaps go that route again, or to try that thing again, and I'm too afraid because of what's happened in the past, because of the previous denials, that is where the change in thinking, or where the youthful or immature way of thinking, and I hesitate to use the word immature because it is not a pleasant word. I mean, people don't like to hear that their thinking needs to come up some, but or to grow in a new way. But I'm really picking up with this Page of Swords as your internal influence, that there is a need to examine the way what you're projecting out into the world, because whatever's going on inside of us ultimately is reflected within our external world. So we want to be very mindful when it comes to the way that we're thinking and the way we're seeing other people and things. All right, so that Page of Swords again is coming up as your internal influence there. So next up we have your final outcome card. Now this card is really a summary of the last three cards that we've talked about. So we have the external, the internal, as well as your current view on the world. So this card summarizes those three previous cards. And what we have here is the Nine of Pentacles coming out in the reverse as your final card. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is really motivation. Like, it has a lot to do with your finances. This card has been called the Wish card. So seeing it in the reverse again is taking me right back to what I was just saying about the Page of Swords, about monitoring your thought pattern, making sure that your thoughts are based on current realities and not past assumptions or past experiences, because they aren't really assumptions. I don't minimize at all any experiences that you've had, whether they're if they haven't been pleasant experiences, but certainly they have the potential to impact or prevent us from fully accepting and seeing what's in front of us. This Nine of Pentacles is about abundance and your ability to attract abundance in your life. So seeing this in the reverse again is bringing me back to what we were just saying here about the Page of Swords coming in the reverse, as well as this Four of Wands coming up in the reverse, indicating that your viewpoint on the world or on your environment right now, not seeing that as a solid foundation. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to have a what's the word I'm looking for? It's airy-fairy. This airy-fairy type of attitude about your circumstances. In other words, I'm not asking you to deny what you're seeing with your eyes. The only thing I'm asking you, or I'm suggesting at this moment, is that the eyes don't actually report to us the truth. They don't. They report to us exactly what we believe, exactly what we believe as individuals, what we believe as a collective, but they don't actually report the truth of our being. So that's just a little nugget to keep with you as you continue to move through your daily lives and look out on the world, with a lighter perspective there. All right. So, and I do want to say once more that you drew down the Star as your overriding energy. So there is massive potential here for Pisces to get to turn some of this, what I'm seeing here with the Page of Swords, what came in specifically with the Page of Swords, as well as with, again, the Four of Wands in the reverse. There's this massive potential here to turn things around, to see things through these beautiful starlit eyes, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead now and take a look at your guidance card. Again, I am using the Archangel deck by Doreen Virtue. This is my oldest deck. I typically don't have to pull a card from this deck. The archangels will let me know which card is going to be best for your reading. So I call upon the archangels, asking for one additional card for the sign of Pisces to close out their reading for the month of November 2017. Giving thanks in advance. Oh, wow, that's too many. All right, let's try that again. Giving thanks in advance to all that is for perfect clarity, perfect wisdom, and perfect vision. Again, the archangels typically speak to me by just jumping a card out of the deck that is relevant for this particular reading. So let's just continue to shuffle here until we get the appropriate card for Pisces for the month of November. Oh, goodness, we are getting many more than we're looking for here. Now, if that happens again, I'm going to flip the 3 that we get, because that means that the archangels are wanting you. There we go. That's what I was looking for, your individual card for the month of November. All right. So you pulled Archangel Zadkiel. Compassion. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So again, there's this call for compassion for Pisces in the month of November, to be compassionate with people and circumstances, and to especially yourself. That's one thing that I'm drawn to make sure that we're making that clear. This compassion is not an outward event. This compassion is also aimed eternally at you. All right, so take a look at the angel on this card, shining a beautiful bright light. It reminds me of the star that you pulled at the very beginning there. So Archangel Zadkiel has come forward to remind you to be very compassionate with yourself and with others throughout the month of November. All right, so that does conclude your reading for the month of November. I do wish you all the best in the month, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there, for those of you who celebrate that holiday. And I do look forward to seeing you back in December. Namaste.